Greetings and salutations. This is the Solid Signal podcast for the week of December 7th, 2015. Of course, it's Pearl Harbor Day as I record this, and that's a great opportunity to say let's remember everybody who sacrificed to keep this country free and who did not necessarily need to do so. And it's a very apropos thing to say, especially in light of events of the last week. But this podcast isn't about that sort of stuff, so let's move on to what we normally talk about, which is, of course, satellite, cellular, antenna, and all things tech. This week, I'd like to talk about the announcement that DirecTV, now part of at&t, is changing their logo once again. They've moved away from what they call the Cyclone, the sort of blue D logo that they've been using for about the last 20 years, and the new logo will no longer say DirecTV, now part of the at&t family. It will just have the at&t logo followed by the word DirecTV. This is part of an overall rebranding effort that may, and I say may, result in the DirecTV name going away completely in favor of something like at&t Entertainment or at&t Television, something like that. But the first thing to know is that that's a long way off. Messing with your logo is one thing. I mean, that can be done relatively quickly, new letterhead, business cards, email signatures, whatnot. But on the other hand, rebranding all that hardware and going through generations of hardware to make sure that nobody has that old DirecTV stuff, that's a completely different thing. It's going to be a little while before they even start, and if you read some of the information that's been leaked, including the article at the Solid Signal blog, you'll see that they're not even planning on starting the transition to whatever new name that they're going to be using for at least another year until their next generation services start to roll out. And it's my bet that they won't necessarily go further until they've got a good stronghold where whatever the next generation after Genie is, when that really takes hold, when they start to really roll it out to consumers. It's a very slow-moving business, and there's reason for that. A name like DirecTV still has enormous cachet. It still carries a lot of weight. And at&t, by the way, hasn't 100% decided to abandon the name DirecTV. They're saying they're considering it. It's one of many options. They obviously decided that it was okay to abandon the old logo, and I basically see that because, you have to kind of brand it all together, and I get that. I was fond of the old logo for a lot of reasons, but the most important thing that you need to know, and the reason that the podcast for this week is titled as such, is, well, it comes from William Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 2. And I'm not an actor, so I hope you'll forgive me for my somewhat flat delivery. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. The point is, it doesn't matter whether they call it at&t, it doesn't matter whether they call it DirecTV, or even if they called it Meryl Streep. It wouldn't matter. The point is, you're still getting top quality entertainment. When at&t and DirecTV became one company, there was a lot of concern that DirecTV would immediately disappear in favor of Uverse, which a lot of people felt is an inferior product. Well, I think the at&t folks may have felt that same way too. Because if you really look at what's going to be happening in the next couple of years, at least based on the tea leaves that we're able to read, it's not that DirecTV is going away in favor of Uverse. It's a lot more like Uverse is going away in favor of DirecTV. That doesn't mean there won't be some sort of terrestrial system carried over a cable to a home, but it's going to look a lot more like today's DirecTV than it looks like Uverse. And that's, my friends, a good thing. So, my friends, let me tell you, it doesn't matter to me whether I end up talking more about at&t Television. It doesn't matter whether or not they call it DirecTV. I'm still going to be a big fan, and I hope you will be too. In the meantime, have yourselves a great week. If you have a second, shop over at solidsignal.com because we've got a great selection of holiday stuff that you can find for fantastic prices. That's right, the marketing people made me say that. And overall, have a great and safe holiday season.